So I'll just ask you guys to summarize your stories.
You want to go first, Joy?
No, you can go first.
All right. Well, my name's Scott Desnoyers, and I'm a father and a healthcare activist after I lost my son back in April of 2019. My son came to live with me shortly after he did, about 3 weeks after he moved in with me. He learned he'd lost his health insurance, which was secured through the New York State of Health, through the Managed Medicaid program, part of the ACA. The medication he was denied was risperidone and had a known suicidal risk from withdrawals. Those risks typically manifest in about 2 to 3 weeks after you stop the medication, when the chemical imbalance is at its most severe, which is exactly what happened with my son. 2 weeks after he stopped taking his medication, I had seen his suicide note posted on Facebook a couple seconds after he did it, where he told us that he had superglued his seatbelt shut and said goodbye to his 2 children and drove his truck into the river. I've become an activist ever since, fighting for Medicare for all and to get the New York Health Act passed, which is a single-payer New York State plan that would work on taxes, different from Medicare for all, but similar, which is how Canada first got their universal health care, one state at a time. For them, it would be a province. But fair, if we could do that here, or if they could do that there, why can't we do it here? I campaign nonstop. I've spoken to our politicians. I've had the vice president-elect share Danny's story, but to use it to undermine our movement. No matter how many shots we take, we just got to keep fighting.
Thank you so much for having me. And if you haven't checked out the town hall from tonight, definitely do so. There's so many amazing speakers and stories shared. Essentially, my story goes, I went to bed one night and woke up without much of my eyesight. I went to the hospital and was diagnosed with a rare disorder called myopic degeneration. And this was just last year. And at this point, I am now fully visually disabled. I can't drive. I need to sacrifice a lot of my independence, unfortunately. And I'm still trying everything I can to do things I want to do. But even though my situation is rare, there are so many people who may not support Medicare for all right now because selfishly they don't need it. But what about someone like myself, or someone who had cancer diagnosis, or someone who got in a car accident, or anything? It can happen overnight. So it's definitely important that we see some more empathy in people. I think that's missing so much. I think that's one of the reasons that Medicare for all doesn't have even more support. It's, I feel okay. I don't have medical bills. I'm good. But at the same time, it would be advantageous for everyone and save people money at the same time. So I'm a very strong supporter of force the vote. I think we elected activists and they need to show their activists.